The subterranean air was thick with dust and the acrid tang of ozone. Eric Lehnsherr stood amidst the rubble, his breath coming in ragged gasps, the metallic tang of blood in his own mouth. Beside him, the grotesque form of the creature they had just vanquished lay still, its myriad eyes glazed over. For a long moment, silence reigned, broken only by the distant drip of unseen water and the faint hum of his own overtaxed powers. He had done it. They had done it. A flicker of something unfamiliar, yet intensely satisfying, bloomed in his chest. A sense of purpose, of powerful, undeniable good. He had used his abilities not for survival, nor for vengeance, but to protect, to save. "It's over," he stated, the words a little hoarse, but laced with a quiet triumph. He turned to Cassandra, his associate, who was meticulously brushing dust from her practical dark attire. Her expression, as always, was carefully neutral, a study in detached observation. He expected, well, he wasn't entirely sure what he expected. Perhaps a shared moment of relief, a nod of mutual respect, even a simple acknowledgement of the sheer effort they had expended, the danger they had faced. But Cassandra merely sighed, a soft, almost imperceptible sound that nonetheless punctured the hopeful bubble forming around Eric. "Yes, Eric, it is over," she echoed, her voice devoid of inflection. "Now we have to deal with the aftermath, the structural damage, the displaced water mains, the inevitable questions from the authorities about the cause of this incident." She gestured vaguely at the colossal, deceased monster. "And, of course, the people who will undoubtedly complain about the inconvenience regardless of what we've prevented." Eric felt the warm glow in his chest begin to recede, replaced by a subtle, chilling draft. "But the people are safe," he pressed, a hint of his earlier elation still clinging to his tone. "That's what matters, isn't it? We averted a catastrophe." Cassandra met his gaze, her eyes like chips of flint. "For today, tomorrow there will be another catastrophe, or merely another minor annoyance they blame on forces beyond their control. And they will forget the one you saved them from, just as quickly as they forget the names of those who came before you." Gratitude, Eric, is a fickle emotion, easily overshadowed by inconvenience or a perceived slight. Her words, delivered with such calm certainty, struck him with the force of a physical blow. He looked around again, not at the defeated monster, but at the remnants of human infrastructure, broken pipes, shattered conduits, the mundane debris that would be the focus of the city's attention. He thought of the faces of the people above ground, oblivious, perhaps annoyed by a temporary power outage, unaware of the horror that had threatened to erupt from below. A bitterness began to curdle the nascent hope he had felt. Is this what heroism was? A thankless task, judged by the mess left behind rather than the lives preserved? Was his incredible power a force that could bend the very fabric of the world to be expended in an endless cycle of anonymous battles, only to be met with bureaucratic headaches and the indifferent amnesia of the very people he sought to protect? He had entertained the idea for a fleeting moment of stepping into that role, of becoming a guardian, a visible protector. The thought had been almost intoxicating. But Cassandra's pragmatic, almost cynical dismissal of human gratitude had poisoned the well before he could even drink from it. It wasn't just her words, it was the sharp realization that she was, in her own way, profoundly correct. He had seen enough of humanity's capacity for cruelty, for self-interest, for a chilling disregard of anything that didn't immediately serve their own comfort. If he was to stand as a protector, if he was to dedicate his immense abilities to a cause, it had to be for a people who understood the sacrifice, a people who shared his burden, who faced similar existential threats, who knew what it was like to be an outsider, feared and misunderstood. He would not be a mere janitor for a world that saw him as an anomaly, or worse, a potential problem. This brief, bitter taste of attempted heroism, before he fully embraced the identity of Magneto, proved to be a pivotal moment. It wasn't merely the rejection of a path, it was the sharpening of a resolve. It planted the seed that would blossom into his militant stance, shaping his destiny not as a hero for humanity, but as the self-proclaimed savior of mutant kind. He would fight for a future where his efforts, his power, his very being would be understood, appreciated, and above all, acknowledged as vital. His heart, he realized, truly lay elsewhere, with his own. This early flirtation with traditional heroism, so quickly soured by the perceived ingratitude of those he sought to protect, served as a crucial formative experience. It refined his convictions and steered him irrevocably towards a more radical vision, forging the complex, formidable figure we know as Magneto. It showed him not just what he could do, but for whom he would do it.